So my point is to say that the intention of the Quran, when it's confirming what you have and it's mentioning these parts of the Gospels, it consciously knows that there's stuff that contradicts with the Quran, and yet still goes ahead and edits that material and still says it's confirming what you have because it's a general confirmation. Now, this is the main justification. The main justification is to say
What
that
what what
that the
makes
author
you
of the
wait
Quran,
wait? Let me
yeah,
let me let me critique
wait,
that.
just,
Let me
just give
critique
me a
that.
sec.
What makes you believe that it?
I'm almost done, dude. I'm almost done. So the point is to say that the author of the Quran has knowledge of the Injil, so much so that it would be absurd to say that it's not consciously editing the crucifixion. So to put it this way, do you think that someone knowing the idea that you have the parable of the seed, that you have the idea that you exchange money for heaven, like in Mark 10:18, someone that knows that you sacrifice your life for the gospel, you get heaven. Someone that knows something like pardoning the oppressor, right, is something that's found in the gospel. Do you think someone that has the knowledge of all these things will not know that the gospel talks about the crucifixion of Jesus?
So you ready for me to respond?
Yeah, just a direct answer, please,
Okay.
to my question.
All right. So what you're doing is you're asserting that this man is making some sort of correction. So you've jumped. Now at first you said, okay, look, you know what? I'm going to read something in this book and then I'm going to go and try to find it, and then now I'm going to point to that as what he was talking about. Then you read something that differs and then you say, well, no, he's making a correction. Nowhere does it say it's making a correction. So just like when you went to this verse to show how you got information on how you can actually at least believe this could possibly be the gospel, which I agree. I think that was a good thing for you to do, to find that verse, find that it says that this is something in the gospel, and then go find that and then say, wow, okay, so this, at least this right here, this book that I found this in, must possibly be the gospel. I don't know where you got the rest of the books and threw them all in there as well, but at the end of the day, I can accept that position. But now you've did a leap with this position that you're holding now by saying that when you see something that differs from these books, it's all of a sudden
Yeah.
making a correction. Where are you getting that from?
Okay. Yeah. So please just answer the question I asked before. So
Okay, simplify it.
yeah,
Simplify it.
yeah. Okay. So you have someone that knows the Gospels. Just one individual. Don't worry about the Quran. Don't worry about
Who is
anyone
the
else.
person to have known the gospels? Who knows the gospels?
It's an individual that you know
Who?
of. That it doesn't matter who. It's just an individual that
No,
has
it
read the
does matter.
Gospel.
That's the point.
Okay.
Who knows the
Okay.
gospel?
This is the point of the example. It's just any individual. It could be anyone.
Well, I know, but if the example is that this person knows the gospel, then I'm assuming that this person would have read it, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's the point. Okay,
It can't be Muhammad.
to put it simply, the author of the Quran, whoever you want to take it to be,
Right. That's what I'm saying. Your example is
the author of
flawed
the
because
Quran.
the knowing of the gospel
Okay,
can't be from Muhammad.
okay, no
How can
problem.
Muhammad know the gospel?
Here, but that's what I'm saying. Okay, the author of the Quran knows the parable of the seed from the gospel. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're asserting that you're God.
No, not my God. No. You can take that. That's why I said someone. Okay, anyone, any human being, but here particularly the author of the Quran, whoever you want to take it to be, the
Well, no,
human being that.
we have to assert the person speaking.
Okay,
So are
okay.
you saying Muhammad
Who do
knows
you
the gospels?
who do you believe author of the Quran?
A man, Muhammad.
Muhammad. Okay, thank you. Okay, Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, does he know in the Gospels that there's a parable of a seed growing and then the branches grow firm, etc.?
Thank you. So he's quoting that he heard something was in the
Yep.
gospels. Yes. I can't assume
Okay.
that he knows the gospels. He knows that this is a passage from the gospels. Obviously, he's
Okay.
uttering that out of his mouth, but he doesn't know that that's true. He
Where's
can't
he
read
getting
the
it?
gospels.
Where's he getting it from?
Where's he getting it from? Yeah, the
Yeah.
information was out there.
Where?
Yeah, from what other people said. He heard from what other people said.
From
And then he said,
oral traditions.
yeah, if someone was around
Okay,
and
oral traditions.
speaking
Okay.
and making statements about the gospels, Muhammad heard it and repeated it. There's nothing
Okay.
wrong with that.
Okay. Was he certain that this was from the Gospel or not?
You said, was he sure?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really think he was sure of a lot of the stuff that
He
he
was.
said.
Okay.
So you
Well,
can
no,
assume you can
this
assume he was you can
no, no,
assume he
no,
was
no, I'm asking
confident.
you. I'm asking you your position.
Yeah, I'm giving it to you. I said you can assume he was confident in saying that, but I mean, really whether he was sure or not is irrelevant.
So he knows it's possible that it's not actually from the gospel.
Okay, let me. Here's the point that I'm saying. Did Muhammad ever read the Gospels?
Your under your position, no.
Okay, no. On your from your position, did Muhammad ever read the
Sir,
Gospels?
on my position, he's getting it from God, so he's not.
Okay,
He hasn't read the gospels. No.
right, exactly. But even from your position, he never read the Gospels, so he didn't know
Yeah.
that it was actually in there.
No, he knows because he's getting it from God. But regardless, bring it
Okay,
back.
so from your
My
position,
position.
I,
My
I
position has nothing to
understand
do with
your
yours.
position, Dean. From your
Yep.
position, well, he got it from he got it from God, so he didn't have to know if it
Yep.
was actually in there or not. From my
Yep.
position, this man made a bunch of blunders, spoke on gospels that he knew nothing about, and
Where's the
reiterated
blunder? Show
things,
me. Show me. Show me. Show me.
and
Okay. Okay.
reiterated.
Show me one. Okay. Show me one blunder where he says this is found in the gospel, but it's not found in the four gospels.
What?
At every given point, when the Quran says this is found in the gospel, you literally find it in the gospels. You find it in the sayings of Jesus in the gospels. I proved that to you just before. But anyways,
Yes.
the point
Hold
I'm
on.
telling you
Oh, wait.
within your position, because we're bringing it back to my main point. My
Mhm.
main point is that the author of the Quran, you believe is Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the author of the Quran isn't sure if it is from the gospel or isn't from the gospel. Now, the author of the Quran is contradicting the material he's hearing. The author of the Quran is contradicting the oral traditions he's hearing, according to you, in given instances. So, for example, Solomon disbelieving, he's contradicting the oral tradition he's hearing, right?
You're essentially like shooting yourself in the foot by making this claim. So what you're saying is that he's made. I don't have a problem with him making statements about what is found in the Gospels. I have no problem with that. If this is how you want to derive your information on how to find what the Gospels are, I think that's a beautiful position. I think more Muslims should actually do that. The problem is that you have Muslims, and I'm not arguing their position. I'm just letting you know they run around saying Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John is not the Injil your Quran is speaking of. And I know you've heard of this
Yep.
plenty of times. So
Yep.
what I'm saying is that I actually enjoyed the fact that you've done that homework to say, well, you know what? This is what was circulating around that time. So this must be what my Quran is speaking of. Now, what you guys have done in this position, which I think is a move forward, is you guys have finally accepted the Muslims that are in your worldview. You guys have finally accepted the fact that you know what, we're gonna have to give
Yeah,
it.
no offense, life. No offense. We're not dealing with the substance of what I'm saying. So
Yes, yes, you are, because
let's
I'm
bring it back.
gonna directly.
Let's bring it back to the oral traditions. I'll let you speak for a while, dude. I'll let you speak for a good minute. So,
Okay, so
but you're not addressing back to the point I was making.
I am.
No, because I just asked you about Solomon not
I
disbelieving.
am. I was about to answer that right now. You cut me
Okay,
off.
okay. Can you please, because all of the stuff you just mentioned right now has nothing to do with what I just said. But go ahead.
Yeah, well, it goes back to what I said in the beginning. It's that anything that goes against your Quran, you're automatically going to throw it out as
No, that's not
false.
what I'm saying. Oh my god,
Okay,
dude, dude, please, please,
so the
please, please.
story. Okay, so the story that took place.
One second. Right now, I'm working from your paradigm. Okay, let me make it very simple. I'm working from your paradigm. You believe the author of the Quran. I'm showing you right now that your position is absurd. You believe the author of the Quran is hearing oral traditions, and whenever he hears something that he dislikes, he goes ahead and contradicts it. So, for example, Solomon disbelieving, he would have heard Solomon disbelieving, and then he would have said, "Wait up, nope, I don't believe Solomon disbelieved," and then he edits that. That's what you believe, right?
Brother, no. What I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is
So,
that
what do you
when you
believe?
find it, what I'm saying is it's just what I'm saying. You gotta pay attention to what I'm saying, bro.
You haven't
Your
addressed this yet,
your
actually, but
assumption,
go ahead. Yeah,
your assumption is that when you find a differing story, that
yep.
your Quran is automatically making a correction. Am I right?
Oh my god,
Right about
dude.
that or no?
This is a polemic against those that believe that he disbelieved. Do you not
It's
understand?
that's irrelevant.
Yes, it is
I'm
because okay,
saying when you go into your Quran, are you Dean? Okay, let's do a more broader example, right?
no.
Since
Focus on
you
this. Focus on someone disbelieving. Okay, so you're telling me, but this is my position. I'm not saying because the Quran contradicts it, therefore it's a conscious edit. I'm not saying that. The Quran knows people are saying. So look at this. It says here, never did Solomon disbelieve.
So
Okay,
what?
so
That's
so so so
irrelevant.
so
That's
so
what I'm
the
saying.
Quran. Wait, one second.
Dean,
Listen very carefully. He's not saying the author of the Quran isn't just contradicting. The author of the
that's
Quran,
irrelevant though. You're coming from
the
a
author of the
position.
Quran. Wait, I'm almost done. Give me 5 seconds. The author of the Quran hears from people that Solomon disbelieved, and he's saying, "Never did Solomon disbelieve." You agree with that?
It's irrelevant. I agree that the verse says that. Who cares?
No.
That's irrelevant.
That's not what I'm saying. Is the author of the Quran hearing traditions
I'm
saying that? So is he
brother,
hearing?
if you let
Is
me,
he hearing
Dean,
traditions? Is he
Dean,
hearing
if you
traditions that said he dis?
Dean, that's what you
Go ahead.
assume. That's the assumption that you make because of some
What?
differing passages. Listen to what I'm saying, bro. Listen to what I'm saying. I'll show you
Go
right
ahead.
now.
Go ahead.
If you allow me
Go
to
ahead.
show you, then
Yeah, take your time. Go ahead.
I'll show you right now. So you said Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John are the gospels, correct?
Can you focus on this, please? Or what are you
Oh
doing?
my gosh, Dean, I'm going to show you how you're making a blunder.
No,
Watch,
no.
you're going to prove my point if
You're
you answer
making a
the
claim.
question.
Bert, can you please stick on topic, and then we can get to that. No problem. But you made a claim about Solomon disbelieving, and I'm pulling you
No,
up on it.
does this nowhere can you take anything that you read here and say
Mhm.
that he's correcting anything from the previous scriptures?
Okay.
Nowhere
Okay.
can you take this is what
Is
your assumption
is
is.
the author of the Quran, hearing a tradition that Solomon had disbelieved?
If Muhammad heard this and he made a statement like this,
I'm asking you if he did. I'm asking you. Is there any
of
indication
course
that
he
he's
would have
hearing a
had to hear,
tradition?
of course he would have had to heard he would have heard
Okay.
this from somewhere.
Okay. No. I'm not saying did he hear that Solomon didn't disbelieve. I'm saying did he hear a tradition that Solomon did
I'm
disbelieve?
saying in general what he's speaking here, and I know this
Yeah.
passage. What he's
Yeah.
saying here and what he's referring to is irrelevant for the statement that he makes in his verse to conclude your point. That's what I'm saying. I understand what you're trying to say, but I'm saying that it's going to backfire if you allow me to prove my point. You're not allowing me to go to somewhere else to prove to you that you're just
Why do you have to go
assuming
somewhere else? What?
because I'm
Why?
going to show you that you're just jumping to conclusions. I'll show you right now if you allow me. You're not trying to
But
allow me, bro.
you're literally the one that's jumping to another point, and you tell me I'm
I'm
jumping to a
not jumping
conclusion.
to another point. This is the
Okay.
same thing. I'm
Go
jumping
ahead.
to
Go ahead.
another passage to
Bring
show
what you
you
like,
what you're
bro.
doing.
Yeah, bring what you
Okay,
like. What?
thank you. All right, thank you. So in Luke, Zachariah couldn't
Yeah.
speak for how long?
3 days.
No, is the entire term of the pregnancy. It's
Okay.
more than 3 days. In your Quran, Zachariah couldn't speak for how long?
3 days.
All right, which one is correct?
Obviously, the Quran.
Why?
Because first we establish that the Quran is true, and then we take it as a criterion over the past scriptures.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Exactly. So, do you see what I'm saying? What you've done is you've established a position where you said, well, I'm not actually going to agree with this position, even though I'm going to accept Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John as the gospel. Whenever I see something differing, I'm just going to close my eyes. I'm going to go back to the Quran. That's the point that I'm making here,
That's
bro.
not that, but that's not the Islamic dilemma. The Islamic dilemma is that the Quran is confirming everything, and
I'm
at the same
presenting
time,
you, I'm
yeah,
presenting you
yeah.
the issue in your position. That's what
Okay,
I'm doing right now. I'm showing you
okay.
that your
Here,
position is flawed and jumping to conclusions that your Quran is automatically correct over something just because you believe that your Quran is true. So
okay. Let
let
me.
me ask you this. Let me ask you this just to see where we're at.
You made your point. No problem.
In Luke,
Wait.
is that corrupted or is it just not true?
Life. One second. One second. You made
All
your
right.
point, and I give you your answers to your questions. Now I'm gonna ask you a question. Is there a concept of the afterlife before Christianity?
Brother, that's irrelevant.
Oh, why didn't you, bro? I answered your question, dude. Why don't you
That's
answer? Go ahead.
irrelevant. You're hold on,
Go
hold
ahead.
on, hold on. That's
Is there
irrelevant.
is there a
Are we
concept?
here to
Or I'm
hash
gonna let
out the
bro.
Islamic dilemma or are we
I
talking
don't
about
want you
the
to,
afterlife?
no, because you're the one who jumped it to a completely different topic. I'm willing to engage on it, no
Huh?
problem. But I just answered your questions
Dean, Dean, I didn't jump
very
into a
quickly.
different Dean, I didn't jump into a different topic.
Life.
It's the same
I
thing.
answered your questions very quickly and very succinctly. You can't answer one question that I've just given you. Is there a concept of an afterlife before Christianity?
Bro, that is irrelevant.
Can you answer, Bert? Oh my. Videos like this, like and subscribe. Alternatively, if you want to support the channel even more, then my Patreon and GoFundMe links will be down below.